Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's 5 vs 5 Battle for Asgard. This is round 2 right now, and on the left we've got Friendship Esports, on the right we've got Big Brain Gamers. I'm here with my dude. Say hello to everyone.
Hey everyone, I'm TIH Vengeance, just call me Vengeance for short if you like. I'm here joining Laramie today as my first cast for the channel.
Yeah, and a big welcome
games today.
Yeah, this is going to be a great game. So a lot of these people have played in our tournaments before, but just some notable names to bring up. We've got Sops on the right-hand side. He used to play for Flashpoint Esports when they were still in the SPL. I think that was in the summer split, I believe. But we also have Stay West. We've got Mort. We've got Mr. Piggies, Repap. All these people have played in our tournaments before, and they've done very well. So just to take a quick look at the bans, we've got Dodgy and Ardio on Friendship Esports. And for the Big Brain Gamers, they've taken out Ho-Yi and Kakulin.
Yeah, also, Friendship decides to go for the Uller first pick, which I think is very interesting with the skill he has to take to play him at a good level, but we'll see how it goes with the Nemesis pick on the right side with Big Brain Gamers.
I think the Friendship is kind of overestimating the Uller buff. He did get quite buffed in this patch, but you know, he's still a hunter that takes quite a lot of skill, like you said, and that's going to be very dependent on the player who is the ADC. Xing Chen selection on the side of Big Brain Gamers.
This is coming from Fates too, and he's also, as you said, with Sops, been in the SPL before at one point, so we'll definitely like to see the Jintian plays coming out of him.
Kind of find it strange that they would pick Xing Chen so early. Xing Chen, not really known to be one of the strongest Guardians out there. He is very good, though, I would say, in this current meta, especially against triple tanks. And right now, on the other side, we see Mort Bicklin knocking that Raijin. Probably not for him, but we've got a Raijin and a Kabrakan. Do we think that the Kabrakan's going to go jungle, or do you think it's going to be a support?
Honestly, in this situation, I would like to see Kabrakan in the solo because that Jintian could be a flex between support and solo as well. which it's not going to be as Hercules is picked up.
I don't know, man. We might see a Hercules support.
I would be a little scared to see that, although that is Uller in the duo lane and Raijin in the mid, both having their leaps to very easily get away from his knockup.
Yeah, that is true, but the problem with putting Kabrakan into the solo lane against the Xing Chen or even a Hercules is that there's a really good chance that he'll get knocked up if he tries to go for his tremble.
Oh, very easily, definitely. His clear is easily interrupted. At this point, it's going to be hard to tell if you want him either starting out in the support role, whether that be mid or in the duo lane, depending on their playstyle, or if you just want him in jungle, depending on the solo laner.
Yeah, that is true as well. Right now, we see AMC getting banned away on the side of Friendship Esports, and Athena, and also Fafnir getting taken out by Big Brain Gamers. These two Guardians, we've seen a lot of people in the SPL pick up in the recent Super Regionals, especially Cherio, who performed so incredibly on that Athena jungle. So this ban makes me think that they're assuming that the Kabrakan probably isn't going jungle.
Yeah, I see that, or they just don't want the Athena to taunt into maybe a Raijin ult, just in case. Also, due to what you said about Cherio playing Athena, there aren't many people who currently like to play her in the jungle. Reasons unknown, really. I do think she's a good pick. With Heball coming up, this will definitely be a very interesting decision for the Kabrakan because they took out AMC, another one who's been strong almost all year, especially since his buff in the SPL. We know he's been played at a high level, very good at 1v1 in the duo lane.
Discordia, however, is not going to be available right now, so she
Yeah,
is just being hovered for jokes, for giggles, and now we see the raw hover. Another kind of pick that's kind of slept on, but the Morrigan is now selected, or hovered once again, and I don't really know if that would be the best decision. There's not really any necessarily good targets to transform into, but the soul is going to be locked in, and I've got to say that's got to be probably the better pick there.
I find it very interesting he would show so many different options. I honestly would have liked to see the Morgan just for the fact that you could have the Raijin or Kabrakan ready at the hand of Jintian's ult.
Yeah, that is true. However, you don't typically see a Morrigan turn into a Kabrakan, I guess. Unless you're at the super high levels in your zeros and you want to Gebalt, because why not? But there is no Geb in this game, so there's not really any kind of wombo combo that I could really see coming off of that, especially since his team is incredibly tanky at this point.
So, depending on this look, it looks like this is going to be Kabrakan jungle. Yep, with the Ganesh coming out for the support role, unless for whatever reason they're feeling good in the solo lane, that would be definitely tier solo.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Kind of strange how they banned away the Fafnir but decided to ban Athena rather than Ganesh, another top tier pick. Ram is now the current hover for Sops. And altogether, I have to say that Big Brain Gamers has a very solid composition. While I do like Friendship Esports' comp, I don't really see them succeeding as well as Big Brain Gamers, mostly because they don't have that kind of pressure towards the late game, especially since Bruh has this Nemesis hovered. It's going to be really difficult going into the late game because your tanks are just not going to be tanky.
No, I definitely see this being in Big Brain Gamers' favor right now. They have a little bit better of a CC chain if they really want to go for it. Honestly, depending on this Hunter pick, it could be completely favoring them in the comp right now due to the Uller, who even with this buff, may not end up with as much Hunter damage as you might see usually in the late game.
I think if it's going to be, the ROM, I think they're going to send the Uller and the Raijin together in the mid lane and hopefully grab some pressure, because no matter what you do, you're going to lose pressure in that duo lane. It is going to be the ROM selection. So right now we've got both comps hovered up here. If you had to make a guess, who's it going to be?
I'm thinking Big Brain Gamers in this one. Although Friendship Esports does have a good comp to compare to theirs, it's just that little bit better damage, that little bit better with the tanks.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Even though we see, Ganesh coming out, Ganesh probably the highest tier Guardian out of all of the ones selected here. The pressure coming out of a Soul ROM combo and even just putting two tanks together at any point in the game is going to be a lot more powerful than, shoving a tier or a Kabrakan together.
Yeah, the tier pick I find very interesting with how we've seen him not as relevant, especially in the SPL, anytime recently.
Yeah, we've
So,
seen Variety pick it up a couple times, but we all know what happened in Dig It Super Regionals.
yeah, and
Anyway.
that's also Variety. He is the man known for tier. So,
Absolutely. That's going to be it for picks and bans. Thank you guys so much. To be just a quick little break before we get in the game.
This love that you never started, you once destroyed a broken heart that was already shattered. Holding on to what we have, you take us to the edge and back. Holding on to what we have, you take us to the edge and back. This love that you never started, you once destroyed a broken heart that was already shattered. Holding on to what we have, you take us to the edge and back. Holding on to what we have, you take us to the edge and back.
Hello everyone and welcome to this game versus Friendship Esports versus Big Brain Gamers. Right now we're about 30 seconds in. We've got the support and the mid laner in the mid, and currently we're seeing a little bit of a duel in the dual lane, but the most important thing right now is that brawl in the solo lane. Curse has been popped, but Mr. Piggies just gets stuck in the middle of the wave and gets taken down by Fates for first blood.
Yep, looks like this Cabrakan jungle pick so far is not working out with their solo lane tier. This is definitely going to be a strong Herc and Nemesis game so far.
Yeah, especially since he just stole away that big fire elemental. Mort currently gets knocked up, but he's gonna be okay. Still a little bit slowed. Mineral is there, though. He is chasing down Mort. But right now, the best of the game is the one in trouble. He gets taken out by Fates again. 2 kills for the Hercules, 1 kill for the Soul. And the blue buff is currently gonna get invaded, as well as the speed. Repap's gonna look and try and take it away, but I don't know. There's 4 players there.
Yeah, this is a great start for Big Brain Gamers. Just the fact that they could get those buffs already and be up this much in XP and gold, this is insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's barely a minute 30 in, and we're already seeing a K gold lead. This is just not going to be great for Mr. Piggies, especially since he just barely got away from the Hercules there. Currently, 2 kills up on his direct opponent. Mr. Piggies is not in a great spot.
Fates himself came close to going down, but that on the blink, Fearless missed by Mr. Piggies here. That would have been pretty big if he could have gotten that off.
Yeah, although right now Fates does have his heal, so he's not really going to be in a whole lot of trouble. Mr. Piggy is still struggling to try and clear this wave. Right now we also see in the dual lane, Mineral and Sops are going to be able to get those oracles without any contention. Mort Brooklyn I'm not good at this name. Here we go. Mort Brooklyn was not there in time. And right now he's going to join up with this ADC, who is currently level 5, to try and do something over in the dual lane.
That Jinti knockup, that was pretty good for stopping Mort Brooklyn from being able to get any type of CC onto Sops there.
Yeah, it looks like
they're going to try to fall back for a second as the wave is pushing into them.
Yeah, even though Stay Westy is level 5, Mort is still 2 levels behind his opponent. Actually, just kidding, only 1, but he is at a significant health disadvantage. He is sitting at about 2/3 health, I'd say, as his direct opponent Mineral just totally full health. That's just Xing Chen passive working for you really well.
Yep, unfortunately for Brooklyn here, as Mr. Piggies in the solo lane gets a double kill onto Fates and Bruh. Looks like that was on the Oracle, Elementals there.
It appears that Elpadog had gone back to base, but he just was not ready for the fight over by the Oracles. Good job by Mr. Piggies to come back from his 2-kill deficit.
Yeah, that's big. That actually just put him ahead in XP. Level 5 compared to Fate's level 4.
Yeah, unfortunately not a great time to die, especially when, even though he got the first blood, he still, you have that extra gold. You do not want to be giving that straight back to your opponent. Right now we see a little bit of a group up coming out from Repap and the Best, trying to just farm up and do what they can. We do see, on the other hand, though, we've got Bruh just keeping his Hercules farmed up. You don't really want a triple split at all in this game right now. The current meta is just not great for it, so the more that you can leave your Hunter alone, the better, but it really looks like both supports are trying to just sit with their ADC right now, just to make sure that everyone's okay.
Yes, and Sops and Mineral actually just pushed a wave towards Stay Westy's tower, so he may lose a little bit of farm over there, as he is already backing again. Looks like he is going to finish boots here.
Big group up on the solo hand side by the speed buff. It looks like Big Brain Gamers wants to invade, but not able to secure it.
As Mineral comes in behind them, the Jintian coming out on Brooklyn, who does not have his, and he goes down to Bruh.
Fortunately, though, the best of the game was able to pick up his own speed buff and does get the kill on Mineral, who got stuck behind the walls. Bruh still trying to chase down best of the game to try and get something back there, but they're gonna be okay just backing off for a little bit.
It's a good thing he decided to back off right there, because honestly, if he'd stayed any longer, Mr. Piggies may have turned around and hit that Fearless into his own tier 2 tower on the mid lane.
Yeah, but right now Mr. Piggy is losing his blue buff. We've got a little bit of a pause coming out from Friendship Esports.
Looks like that was accident.
I don't know, it still looks like they're paused. Right now, we're gonna go to a bit of a break and see what's going on.
but that clear is too much as Sops comes back in.
Yeah, a little mistimed on his part, but that's gonna be okay. They are behind by give or take 2k, so they're gonna have to just take what they can at this point. Fighting's gonna be a little bit more difficult as this game gets underway, especially since Repap is 2 levels behind. We've got the best 2 levels behind as well. It's just gonna get harder and harder if you can't get that snowball off on your jungler.
And in that solo line, Mr. Piggies did try to make something happen, but Fate's Hercules heals a little too much for him right now.
Fate's ults the wave. He doesn't have a whole lot of mana right now, so it looks like he's planning to back, but the best does not want to let that happen. Fortunately, though, he's got that driving strike to get him out of range, and the best is just going to have to take his loss and go.
Let's take a second look at ward coverage on the map right now, as Big Brain Gamers seem to be outwarded by Friendship Esports. They have the Fire Giant area and Gold Fury area pretty well warded up right now.
But right now, a blink in from Mr. Piggies does catch Elpa in the Fearless, but a lot of damage coming out from Repap's ultimate. But right now, Repap's getting caught in the Soul ultimate. Elpa Dog with the kill.
That was really good for him to bring that ult out right there, as Mineral was getting into a risky situation with the Raijin. Looks like Brooklyn may fall here. Nope, the silence will save his life.
Fate's getting knocked under tower here and stunned by the best. He is taking quite a bit of damage, but that heal is going to be good. Bruh and Fates right now are so low, but can Uller do anything in this fight? Sops is going into the air trying to find the snipes on the best. He misses the last one, and Stay West, he finishes Mineral off.
That is a really good play on his part with Sops ulting in midair. Looked like Bro and Fates honestly wanted to go behind the tier 1 tower, but I think that would have been way too risky with how low they were.
Unfortunately, their Stay West missed the stun, maybe due to it being a little bit faster than it was before, and is unable to take down Sops as he goes for his own red buff. As this all went down, though, we see Bruh has invaded the speed buff right now, ulting Mr. Piggies, who does not have a lot of mana, double ultimate spent on the tier, and he is going to get taken down by the Slicing Dice. However, iFate's stuck, and Repap gets the last kill.
That was a very good rotation from the mid lane. Those two recognizing how he was honestly just completely out of position there. Even though he had Bruh up there, they got one kill, traded out the Hercules, who is ahead.
Trying to get a little sneaky play onto Bruh. The best is going to try and use those trembles to slow him down, but the double dash, too strong, as well as the speed buff there. If Bruh had died there, you know, that might have been a worth for Friendship Esports, but not good enough.
Without a doubt, that would have been worth, just because right now, Bruh is so far ahead of the best. I mean, this is a 2-level lead we're talking about. That would have easily cut it down to most likely 1.
Yeah, that would have been so huge for Friendship Esports, but unfortunately, still a little bit behind is the Cabrakan. But someone who isn't behind anymore, that's gotta be Stay Westy. He's now very slightly ahead of Stops. They both got 1 kill, but Stay Westy does have that death. But right now we see Mineral helping in a little bit aggressive, but he's gonna be okay. He's got that double jump, and right now we see Stops doing those oracles. Faithful ADC, gotta do them buffs.
Ooh, Stay Westy wanted to come in and get it, but I don't know if he gotten any closer. Mineral might have gone in as he just attempted to on the best.
Stay Westy being a little bit aggressive on this side does not secure the purple with his third ability, but he is still looking to fight Sops. He's got the ward up high. He knows where people are, especially since there is a little bit of aggression in the mid lane. Mineral just trying to fight his enemy support, but over in the solo lane, Herc's chasing down this tier, and we've got a rotation from the rest of the team.
Mr. Piggy's maybe... Oh, that just saved his life. Unfortunately, Fates missed the knockup, which would have put Mr. Piggy in complete danger there.
Good stun out from Stay Westy in the duel lane. The sprint is popped by Mineral, but behind it's more Brooklyn. Hitting the knockup is Mineral, but Stay West is going to hit him so hard, especially with the tower ticking. That rotation from more Brooklyn was so strong. Right now, Sops is kind of stuck. Nobody's coming for him.
Trying for Stay West. He will miss the third snipe. Unfortunately, will cost him his life, as well as Brooklyn and Best were there to clean up.
However, in the mid lane, Nemesis dove so hard under that tier 1 tower to get Repap dead. And on the solo side, Fates and Piggy's at it again, and Bruh's gonna be there. One more hit's gonna do it, and Fates with the last hit.
That was great rotation. Set up the ult perfectly for Elpa Dog, whose ult is now down as he used that to clean up Repap. Just a great rotation from Bruh, immediately recognizing that Mr. Piggy was in trouble.
And one more time, that speed buff's gonna go to Bruh, even though it's not on his side of the map. We see Stay West sitting up a little high, proxy farming that wave.
Bruh is going deep for these back harpies
Oh,
right
that
now,
is
as
true as
Best
well.
recognizes. Unfortunately, he's low on mana, so he may not be able to engage unless someone else with more damage comes across anytime soon, which is not going to happen.
Nice little dash there to avoid the Ganesh knockup. Gotta say, you know, it's gonna be really tough for Friendship Esports if they keep not being ready for this speed timer. They've lost it probably 2 or 3 times this game, and it's probably only been up that many times.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, they find themselves about 3k gold down right now, which means they really need to ward that gold fury, because if that goes down for free, they will be down about 5k gold unless they make a turnaround during one of these fights.
Over in the solo lane, we see iFates expend his ult 3 levels up on the poor little tier, but he's not going to be able to do a whole lot. He is relatively low on mana, so we're not going to probably see any more engagement from him, especially with the best on the way.
No, honestly, I would like to see Mr. Piggy start playing a little safer. He's been caught out in his own jungle multiple times. They do not seem to have around speed buff warded, and they probably need to, as that has been stolen quite a few times.
Yeah, they do have wards, though, in the middle lane. Bruh just stepping over one. So they are aware that the rotation is coming. They're just not sure where from, whether it's coming from your own speed buff or coming from the Fire Giant pit. It's going to be very important information for them to know where that gank is coming from. Right now, we are kind of looking towards a little bit of a pull towards the Gold Fury. They don't want to do it, I guess, but they probably could have if they wanted to. Even though there is a ward there on both sides, most members were on the right side of the map, and with the burst from Raijin, Ganesh, and Uller, it could have been enough.
Yeah, honestly, I would have liked to see them at least start it. With Sops coming in there, they could have gone straight from Gold Fury, baited him in, and most likely killed him there. As we now see Big Brain Gamers start rotating towards the Gold Fury in left lane.
Yeah, right now, Big Brain trying to make a big brain play on this left side. Although it looks like, since Brud did walk over that ward, it's going to be a little bit too tough for them to find Stay Westy, who is a level up right now.
That actually is a really good, well-placed ward, because that just gives you complete awareness anytime someone comes near that purple buff. And in the mid lane, looks like Repep was pushed in pretty far. A little worried about the possible damage from Mineral and Elpa.
iFate's now going pretty hard on Mr. Piggy's in the solo lane. Misses the knockup, unfortunately, but he's totally okay with diving. Actually, he's not okay. His team is there, but Repap, sitting by the speed buff, tries to get a little bit of damage on the Elpa Dog. Misses the Raiju, unfortunately, so he's not going to get any damage there. Bra now getting caught out by the silence and the stun.
Bro looking like he's a little bit in trouble. That shield will save his life, keep him going as he dashes out. Mineral with the ult on Best. This, unfortunately for him, what?
Wow.
Never mind, scratch that. Bro just got a completely turnaround as Sops come in and clean up the Best with his ult.
Mineral now getting caught, but Sops made the rotation. Mineral getting the last hit on the Repap. The knockup is good on the Mort Bicklin, but not enough damage there, so they're going to leave him alone. Stay West is around, but everyone's aware. And over on that right-hand side, Bates trying to put pressure on that speed buff once again. Does not. Oh, he does get it. Wow.
Mr. Pig, you really need to be a little more careful there. The speed buff still went the other way, but it's a little surprising that Elpa and Mineral did not rotate sooner, as he was out of position with his mid lane being down. And it looks like Westy and Mort want to do this Gold Fury with everyone having backed and Fates pushing right lane.
Yeah, nobody's really in range. Sops' ultimate is down as well, so will he be in time for the steal is the question. The roll in, and he's doing a ton of damage. They get the Gold Fury and the kill.
That is incredible at this point. They had so much going for them, and Westy is sticking around too long as Mort died. Sops came in and just cleaned him up, and this is not going well for Friendship Esports, as Big Brain is just going to push in on this red buff.
Yeah, and they're still pushing pretty hard. Repap's getting chased down by Bra, but Bra's totally okay with taking that back camp. Right now, we also see iFates on the right-hand side chasing down Mr. Piggies, even though the tier 1 tower is still up. And we've got a little bit of a group up from Elpa and Mineral in the mid lane, trying to find something more to do or get a little bit of poke. But even further back, Repap forced into his ultimate because Bra just will not stop chasing.
In this right lane, Mr. Piggy's about to fall. This is just what happens when Hercules gets ahead. That healing is not going to let him stay away from you at any point anymore. It's too late. Mid tower did fall. Right tier 1 is about to fall as well.
As is the left tier 1. Everything's going down right now. All 3 tier 1s going down at once, and the Portal Demon being contested right now. Hercules kept from backing, but is it going to be enough damage to kill him? The push away was good. He's living with such little health, and the peel is good for Mineral.
Yeah, it looks like Big Brain, when Sop stole that Gold Fury, it looks like that was enough to let whoever was in base get enough to where they can just do whatever they want at this point. Best looks like he will fall. Elpa uses Disaberate to continue the chase with Mineral.
Even though Repap tried to peel away Mineral, Sops with another kill on Stay Westy over in the duo lane.
Stay Westy was above the Gold Fury. That is surprising that he would be up that far at this point.
Yeah, right now, not looking too good for Friendship Esports. They're nearly 10k behind, and right now everyone's manhandling every lane. Pull in from iFates. However, he misses the baseball, gets knocked up under tower, taking quite a bit of damage, but he does have the heal ticking. He will probably get a lot of health back.
That was a good CC chain by the two of them, but unfortunately this is a level 15 Herc. His heal is going to be too much for the tower right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Nemesis ult popped onto Mr. Piggies. He's gonna get destroyed there. Bruss tanky enough to tank the tower, especially with the shield repap showing up to try and do something, but it looks like it's time for the Fire Giant.
Keep in mind, we are not almost 17 minutes in the game. This is a 10k gold lead. They are doing fire right now. Friendship Esports honestly need to group up and figure something out. Otherwise, this game will be quickly over.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on right now. Friendship Esports were doing pretty well keeping up with Big Brain Gamers, but they just let it get out of control. At this point, you know, after Sop stole that Gold Fury, like you said, it's just a complete 180 in terms of their play. Stay Westy was doing so well over in the duo lane, getting a ton of different things from that duo side, a lot of advantages. But unfortunately, you know, complete 180, like I said, now just completely dominating our Big Brain Gamers.
Yep. Big Brain just pushed through that tier 2 as only the three of them set back and destroy that tier 2. Honestly, they're just going to push it.
Hopped in, and it looks like a humongous
This is not a good fight for Big Brain.
Right now, a lot of damage getting pushed out by Repap. Mort, however, does fall, and Best is now getting pushed as well, and Mr. Piggies is able to get a nice push under Phoenix onto Bruh, but Stay Westy on the other side getting taken down by Sops.
Honestly, I do not like that call at all, the fight there. They were completely pulled into the jungle right where they wanted them. The easy knockback for FaZe.
Are they gonna go for the end?
It looks like they are. Repap is the only one who could do anything, and his ult is down. He used that trying to save his team in that last fight, and it just wasn't enough.
The Vengeance is 18 minutes. Are they gonna even have enough damage?
They will. It looks like as all 5 of them. FaZe trying to, yeah, this is game. They have plenty of damage at this point, and they are not being burned fast enough. Repap, the only one who could come close to killing anyone, but because his Obshar is not online, he can't finish anyone off.
Yeah, wow, what a game. I thought that was going to be...
minutes.
Yeah,
that is incredible.
That went from 0 to 100 real fast. Yeah, probably within, like, even the last 8 minutes. I would say before 10 minutes, you know, we didn't really see a whole lot going down, but...
No, honestly, I think that the 2 kills at the start of the game, that just put Bruh at the point where he was able to do anything he wanted.
Yeah, I mean, even though Fates did fall down and give Mr. Piggies a little bit of leeway to get back into it, Bruh had a lot of that experience too, and he was just dominating those speed buffs, getting pretty much every single one of them, and that put him at an advantage against the best, and unfortunately, the best was not the best this time. Let's take a look at the numbers really quickly. We can see that highest damage in the game right now, we've got iFades, and that's not a surprise to me. He was just brawling all game. Even if it cost him his life, he was totally willing to just fight whoever came to his lane.
Yeah, and a lot of that damage is just fighting Mr. Piggies and the best whenever he wanted to rotate and try and help, but unfortunately for them, it was too late. Mr. Piggies did come back to within a level and actually got ahead with his own double kill at the Elementals. But unfortunately, afterwards, FaZe was just able to body him the whole time. He was really sitting under his tier 1 all game.
Yeah, absolutely true. Unfortunately, that's going to be it for round number 2. Congratulations to the Big Brain Gamers moving on to round 3, and we'll see you there soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this week's 5 versus 5 Battle for Asgard. We're currently in round number 3, and with me this time is the J Mac Tucker.
Oh, I'm the J Mac Tucker now? I thought I was just a J Mac Tucker, or just any old J Mac Tucker.
Well, any old J Mac Tucker. All right, we'll go with that then. You better change your hat.
I mean, just how it's going through. And looking at the players here, this is a lot of very familiar names if you've been here at the Smite Prime scene, or if you've watched any of the Challenger games, or just been in Smite for a long time. Paul and his boys, they've been around a long time.
Yeah, Paul's team right now not looking exactly the same as when he was on 40 IQ, but everyone here, we know their names, we know their stories, we know where they've been. And Artio, the first lock-in right now, I'm kind of surprised it was left open.
Yeah, Artio has kind of, up until this point, she's been an immediate, we gotta pick her or we gotta ban her if she's left open. But some teams have kind of strayed. They've kind of thought, maybe we don't need to ban this Artio. Maybe they have these kind of counter matchups. And in the really high levels of Smite, we've seen Artio has really been a hard carry for teams. But from a trend that I've seen at the lower ends is Artio hasn't been this massive priority.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you there, but strangely enough, we see the Thanatos pick on the side of the Care Bears, as well as the Giannis. Right now, Giannis just got buffed quite a lot, actually. A lot of people didn't really believe he needed a buff, but he is very top priority now, as far as I know. But Thanatos, not the same.
No, Thanatos, I mean, the Dirty Bubble is still kind of a build that people like to run around. It's probably one of the better ways to run him at this point. The Giannis buff wasn't massively significant like a lot of people might think it was. The Unstable Vortex only hits just slightly harder. It's like a minor amount of scaling and base damage, but the ultimate at closer distances definitely hits a lot harder than it used to further away. Obviously kind of makes it a little bit harder. And another god that we saw with a lot of top priority this past weekend at Super Regionals, Fafnir locked in for the boys of Detrimental.
Yeah, as well as the Freya. That's just a classic Paul pick. Paul either picks, one of 3 gods, Freya, Hebo, and who else? I'm forgetting someone right now.
Hell,
yeah, okay, that too. Also, Hachiman. That's my boy. I love Hachiman so much. I'm so glad to see him getting some play. He just recently got released to competitive play, and we've seen top cards like Barracuda pick him up, and we've seen, people rock this god. I think he is pretty strong, but only in the right hands. But are the hands gonna be good? That's the question.
Hachiman for sure needs the player themselves to kind of match his playstyle, which is kind of more of this poke them out and then burst them down as they try and run away. He does have that mounted archery ultimate to be able to get the strong chase down. He's really this more poke-oriented hunter until he comes into the late game where he can really start dealing the standard ADC damage. And, well, because it's Paul, that Freya very likely going into the mid lane, I don't see any reason that Diesel would pick up this god when there are still some other very strong hunters on the board.
That is true. Ho Yi and Rat taken out, though, by the Care Bears, so that is one top ADC getting taken down. But on the other side, we see Ganesh and I believe Sobek, the bans here. But right now, we see the Guardians getting hovered by the Care Bears. Is it going to be Ares? It is going to be Ares.
A little strange on the Sobek ban. Normally, you don't see him just taken outright. It must be something that was played on earlier in the evening that they were a little bit afraid of. Maybe looking at the god pool of the players themselves, saying, we don't want them just to have that one Sobek in particular. It does have a decent matchup against the RTO as well, so that could be where they're looking in that aspect of it. But it's going to be the Robin locked in over for the side of Detrimental. And looking at this team, that's most likely Xenon Hawk taking it unless they're... Oh no, Xenon Hawk won't be playing. That'd be Glavis most likely going into the jungle with it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. I think Artio is probably the solo pick and not the jungle pick. I mean, Cheria played it jungle, but, most people aren't really as willing to take many Guardians into the jungle as he is. And we also see the Jingwei lock-in. That's going to be a pretty safe pick, especially when it comes to all of the stuff that the Care Bears have to throw at them, whether it's the Giannis ult, or the Hachiman ult, or the Ares ult, or the Thanatos ult, or maybe even the Loki ult. All of these gods are really ult heavy. They've got a lot to fight with in team fights.
Right, but looking at these teams, even troll or not, this Loki pick going in would really kind of section out what this team is looking more towards, and that's a pick-oriented comp for the Care Bears. We're over onto the other side of the field. Detrimental is definitely looking for more of a team fight with Fafnir with a Freya and Jing Wei. They're looking to be able to burst down into team fights, shred down objectives, where other guys, they're looking for a big pick. And even with the Kabrakan lock-in, that's still, we want to find that one person, catch them out, and burst them down.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what that comp is really screaming to me, but you had to give it to one team. Who's it going to be?
If this game goes beyond 25 minutes, I'm definitely giving it to the boys over at Detrimental. Paul getting one of his signature gods, not only it just being one of his gods, it being a hyper carry for the late game. This could get very bad for the side of the Care Bears if they don't shut this down quick.
Yeah, but I mean, we see the Care Bears, they have gods like Ares, Thanatos, and Kabrakan who are famous for their early game. Or I guess, Ares maybe not as famous for its early game, but if you get those early chains off in lane, then your opponent's dead. If you get all three of them, dead. DED, dead.
Yeah.
So,
well, looking over to the opposite side, RTO, her level 1 may not be the best, but once she gets that second level, she gets 4 abilities to use out into the solo lane, and really there's nothing that a Kabrakan can do to really fight against that. Ares has to be careful against the Fafnir, can get stunned out by it, so it's just going to come down to the head-to-head matchup of the players.
yeah, I have to agree with you there. So, we'll see you in-game in a couple minutes, but right now, we're going to go to a quick break. ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 3. Right now, in case you mispicked in bands, this is Detrimental on the Order side and the Care Bears on the Chaos side. I'm with J-Mac. What's going up? Down, left, right, sideways.
No. It's A B A B start. Come on. Or no, B A B A. B A B A. Up, up, down, down, left, right. B A B A start. That's the cheat code. And that's how Detrimental's going to win, is inputting that cheat code. You can see Shadow Q's doing it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Just putting in that cheat code before the game starts. Gotta be ready.
I mean, if you hit the lag switch, you can never lose.
Right now, we see Paul taking a bit of poke in that mid lane. Gonna be okay, though. Just gonna get that really clear. We see the ADC in the mid starting in mid rather than the mid and the solo, or not the solo, excuse me, the support on the side of Detrimental.
Yeah, this has been a trend that we've seen at quite a few different levels of play. We've even seen some of the pros running out where you start your ADC mid to kind of get that faster push than what a support can really offer. Because as you know, early on, Guardians don't really have a whole lot of damage. If you can get 2 big sources of damage in your mage and your hunter, you can really get that quick clear going and try and get an invade.
Yeah, strangely enough, though, even though they don't really have the best support for pushing, i.e. Ares, they're still opting to do it anyway. Paul is still getting a bit low in the mid lane, but over in the solo lane, we see Xenon and Glavis out clearing their opponents. Kind of strange, considering Gamma's level 1 is pretty good for clearing wave.
Gamma does have a decent level 1, but at the same time, as soon as any of these players walk into the Tremors, that can really do a number to them. Could force him to play a little bit more defensively. Obviously, with the Mark of the Vanguard not being as prominent, he's not able to just sit there and tank up the damage from the archers like he used to be able to.
Yeah, especially since Mark of the Vanguard did have its magical protections reduced earlier this year, I suppose. So Gamma not really going to opt to pick that up versus a solo laner that is magical.
And with the mid lane cleared out, the first couple of waves and a buff taken, now the Hunters can start rotating back to their proper lane. The supports can start rotating as they should be. Make sure and get their proper farm and going back through. But in the mid lane, Black Scar going to blink straight onto Paul.
Paul taking a bit of damage and forcing out the Aegis and the Shell, surprisingly. I thought Paul would be okay, especially since Quig didn't really look to want to go in there.
Well, Paul's going to throw a few shots back onto Black Scar, but not really going to be too worried about that when he does have a couple of health potions that he can use, get himself back up. And now Muffin Man trying to make a rotation onto Paul. Catches him on the lazy back. I love the beads burn by Muffin Man to make sure that he can use that Death Scythe. First blood for the boys of Care Bears.
Surrender Road has started, but that's just going to be a little bit of troll. Luckily, Muffin Man getting that Thanatos off to a pretty good start. Even though Shadow Q had missed that hammer, like you said, Beats Burn, going to be a really clever way to secure that first blood.
And if it was any other Guardian, he probably wouldn't have had to worry, but because it is a Fafnir, because he does have the disarm built into his kit, all Shadow Q would have to do is just jump straight in place onto him, and that probably could have been enough to get Paul out, but with the beads, he's going to make sure to get out of that. In the solo lane, once again, more aggression, this time onto Gamma.
Gamma tried to dodge into his own minions, but it's not going to be enough. Xenon is low enough, and the Muffin Man hits the execute, so he's going to be set with another kill on that early game Thanatos. However, Glavis slowing the Muffin down, but Muffin just going to heal back up with that Death Scythe. Oof, what a heal.
Yeah, the big power of the Thanatos early is how strong that Death Scythe hits and how much it heals for. Gonna be able to keep himself alive for the time. Just keep himself even, at least with Glavis for the time. Both level 6, but both of them just soaking up that solo lane experience since, well, both their laners died.
Yeah, true that. Especially in this meta, it's going to be so important that both of them keep very close attention to that solo lane. It's really meta right now to only see people splitting 2 ways. You don't really see that 3-man group up like you used to in the mid lane.
No, but one thing that has really started to develop in the mid lane has been this Warlock Sash Rush. We can see that Quig is running it. Typically, you wouldn't see it on a Freya and as standard for Paul, going with the Soul Stone to boost up those in-hands, as well as the ring start, most likely going to that hasten ring that he likes to rush so often.
Yeah, and like we've said before, Freya just took quite a bit of a hit when Fatalis was removed from the game, but hasten ring, close enough, I suppose. It's on a timer, but Freya's still going to hit really hard in that late game, and she's going to be looking forward to getting that ring online to be able to just run down Quig.
Yeah, Freya, one of the few gods who can actually utilize more than just one of the rings. Almost every single one is completely viable in her kit, whether you want the chase down with the hasten, demonic grip for protection shred, even the Telkine's ring for the increased power boost when you hit those in hands. just makes Freya a very powerful character, even into the mid lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of Paul's signature gods, so you know he's got to be good at it, right?
Oh, I mean, it's
Oof.
okay. Well, he's not good at dodging a death side since he's going to be taken down. Blackscar getting the credit for the kill. The ultimate actually pulling him out of the execute.
Glavis right now trying to hop on a Quig, so close to getting that kill, but ShadowQ not fast enough to hop in there. Glavis, ooh, that death scythe. Oh my, absolutely chunking Glavis, and he's gonna go to the ground. Right now, ShadowQ in a bit of trouble as Hunter is here to try and bail him out. The shell has been popped, but Muffin, another kill.
That's the unfortunate part of the Fafnir. Diesel being on the Jing Wei is going to be able to jump over the wall, but the downside of the Fafnir is once that Draconic form is done, you are a sitting duck. You saw the shell pop and Muffin Man popping off this game. 4 death sites, 4 kills for the jungle Thanatos.
I was questioning this Thanatos pick, but the Muffin Man really proving his worth on this god. He knows exactly what he's doing, but Paul has no idea. He's right behind him, autoing him down, sending in that death like Glavis is there for the support, but the auto will do it and he's gonna fall.
Muffin Man just being relentless. We talked about how this team needs early picks. This is a very pick-oriented comp, and right now Muffin Man is playing to the strengths of Thanatos. So much damage early game from the death side that he's able to utilize, even with just his boots 1. That, or his boots 3, that is swinging very hard at this stage. Now level 9, definitely going to have that ability maxed.
Yeah, right now we are looking at only a 1k lead, but for the Muffin Man, you know, if we're looking at the level specifically, he is a level up right now on his enemy jungler, and he does have that whole 1000-fold blade started up right now, while his direct opponent only has his warrior Tabai.
Could be looking towards the stone cutting sword. There has been some recent debate amongst the community whether you build it or not. To be fair, I mean, really, there's no reason not to. It's movement speed, it's a lot of power, and it's protection shred. 3 things that Thanatoses would love to have in their kit. With how far ahead he is, I mean, he could easily go ahead and pick that up.
Yeah, I would say so indeed. He is also making sure to get his speed buff on the timer, and with the enemy speed buff being slightly staggered, he is going to have a slight chance to make that invade should he decide to.
And you can see he doesn't even stay for the full clear of the blue. He gets it down just low enough to where Gamma can hit it with a couple more shots, allows him to walk directly to the speed buff path, and well, now he's making a beeline towards Paul yet again. 3 levels down, blinking from Blackscar. Second chain's not going to hit. Death Sides will, and that's going to be the ult coming up. Muffin going up into his. Paul, good egg is going to keep himself alive, but Muffin's still going to pick that up.
Unfortunately, the Muffin can't get that last death scythe and is eventually taken down by so many shots from the tower. Quig now getting focused, getting an ultimate thrown onto him, as well as the Draconic form. He's not going to be able to run away from this one.
Now Quig gonna fall to Glavis. Gamma not able to help him out, just being on the Cabrakan. His CC was down. ShadowQ's gonna lose that dragon form. Blackscar gets blinked on by Glavis, who's gonna be able to pick up Blackscar because of the 3-man rotation through Xenon Hawk, coming in big for his team in the fight.
Looks like they are going to start up the Gold Fury now. There is no vision on the side of the Care Bears on this Gold Fury, and you've got a Fafnir, and Diesel right now has this red buff, so that's going to be a ton of damage. Also, considering Oswald doesn't have his ultimate, he's not going to be anywhere near that.
Now Oswald instead just going to go ahead and farm up. He was a little too low to be able to contest anyways, walking in a half HP. Might have been able to get the mounted archery shot from the distance to be able to pick that one up, but trading your life out this early for Gold Fury still kind of makes it somewhat worth, but not after all the teammates he lost in the prior fight.
Even though Detrimental right now has just gotten that Gold Fury, they're barely ahead. The Muffin Man falling did kind of put the Care Bears in a bit of a bad spot, but he's still a gigantic Thanatos. I wouldn't be scared. And he didn't go for the Stone Cutting Sword, he went for the Heartseeker instead, but I've got to say, either one's going to be good.
That, even the Masamune, really anything in that tree is very powerful for the Thanatos with how much power and movement speed it provides for him. Xenon Hawk getting chased down yet again. Muffin Man not holding up the aggression. This is what you need for your Thanatos. Always constantly rotating the jungle, getting just any kinds of damage off onto whoever is available for it.
That is true. Unfortunately, there misses the Death Scythe. He's kind of in a bad spot. The nice hammer through the wall forces the beats, and the ultimate's going to come out. Right now, though, Paul was not in a good position to get that last hit. Paul going up in the air as well. Everyone's collapsing on Gamma, not able to get through that portal quite yet, but it looks like that portal is going to be good enough. Glavis not done yet. trying to hop onto that Kabrakan and chase him down, but the portal, once more, good enough.
Well, it's 3 ults for 2 in that skirmish. Only a couple of relics burn onto the side of the Care Bears. They got the purification beads off of Muffin Man. And actually, they didn't get anything from Detrimental, so when it came down to it, just 3 ults for actually 3 because Shadowq did turn into that dragon form. Glavis continuing the aggression forward, and one item that Blackscar has picked up that I'm actually quite a fan of is the Stone of Binding. Gives that aura penetration when he hits the CC, but now he's forced up into his ult.
Oh, a good shot from Quigger to try and put damage there. The portal. Again, Quig on point with these portals, but he's not going to be on point himself. Falling down to Glavis, that root. Just too strong there.
The root plus the speed buff on Glavis makes him a little too fast for him to get away. Perfect banish from Paul. Gonna keep 2 members up, allow Glavis to live in the blink to make sure that he can get away from the death side. This has kind of been the detriment of the Care Bears is they have 7 kills on the Muffin Man, but they never really did anything after they got those kills.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, if we look at the gold per minute, we see Thanatos all the way at the top, but everyone else just lagging behind.
And he's only at the top just barely. You can see that Diesel is just right behind him, if not right on par with him. Glavis is even keeping up with him as well. So this lead that he built early on, he's going to have to really start expanding onto it. Get some back camp invades, get some extra kills. And, well, extra kills is what he's looking for on Nepal, but Aegis is going to make sure that Muffin Man can't continue forward.
Yeah, unfortunate for him not to get that kill. That could have been another step in the right direction for the Thanatos, but oh, the blink in from Ares, and he gets the kill. Paul's reaction speed not quite good enough. With the Aegis down, he was kind of stuck there. Quig now getting chased down by Xenon Hawk, having to use the ultimate for the CC immunity to try and get away from the bear, also burning the beads.
Blackscar's trying to get away as well, but he's stuck at the speed buff fighting too. He can't get away from the damage of the chains, or his chains weren't enough to help him out in that case. So they're going to try a 1-for-1. It's going to be a little bit more in favor of the Care Bears as they were able to pick up Paul for a support. And anytime your support takes out a carry, it's always worth for you. And now the Portal Demon started up by Detrimental.
It's probably going to go down there, and the Muffin Man blinking a little bit too late. Gamma a little late as well with the ultimate. He is going to get attacked by Paul. They're coming straight through the portal. Oswald is too low really to do a whole lot, and Gamma is going to fall there. The Fire Giant was pulled. Shadowq getting knocked up a little bit by it, but Glavis hopping onto Oswald and getting that last hit. Muffin Man totally by himself, and he's just going to follow that nice jump from Shadowq.
4-for-1 engagement in favor of Detrimental, and this is where it comes down to is if the Care Bears don't get their pick, they got nothing going for them. They had to expend the ult from Muffin Man, and they had to use the blink from Blackscar afterwards just to pick up Paul alone. That didn't leave anything for the team fight that is continuing to burst through onto the right-hand side. Now Blackscar left alone, trying to get somebody with a pull, but it's just too much damage coming from Detrimental.
You know, we talked about how the Muffin Man was doing so well, but if we look over, we see that Glavis right now is 8-1-3. How did he get all these kills? Where did they come from? He was so far behind just a couple of minutes ago.
I mean, Glavis only had 1 death to his name the whole time. Despite everything Muffin Man had done, most of his aggression had been onto Paul, who's sitting at 0-5 for the moment. You can see double ring pickup for the Freya, Hasten Ring, and Demonic Grip now online. I mentioned 1 ring, you know, you can go with that on Freya. 2 rings, you know, that's another story. Personally, I like seeing all 4 rings on Freya. I think it's a disgusting build that everybody should be running, but that's just me.
Maybe next time, maybe next time. But even though Paul is 0-5, he still is ahead of Quig, who is 0-3, and Paul not gonna have to build those Warlock Sash stacks, so he's gonna be not really bound to a lane at this point.
Well, really what's come down for Paul is even though he's been dying, he's been getting the waves before his death, where Quig, he might get picked off or be sent back to base, and he's not able to get that farm online for the time. So Paul, despite being the main target of aggression, he's been keeping his farm game online, as well as most of the members of Detrimental. You can see almost every single one of them, actually all of them, are in ahead in experience, and most of them in gold.
Yeah, that is true as well. When it comes down to it, gold will get you a lot more than kills at the end. Well, I guess kills will get you gold, but if you have the gold, then it doesn't really matter. And right now, Paul with no kills doesn't matter. He's ahead.
Yeah, look, a little bit of aggression onto Xenon Hawk by Gamma, but it is an RTO versus a Kabrakan, and now that let's level 15 on the Bear has really no worries dealing with anybody on this enemy team, and I think they put their prioritization into the wrong target. They went for mid when they should have been going for solo or duo lane. Both members of Detrimental as duo lane falling it down to the rotation of the Care Bears.
Yeah, right now it looks like all 4 of these members might group up and go for this tower. There's a little bit of pressure being put onto Gamma over here in the mid lane, but he is popping the thorns. Paul not really hitting any basics either, but he is taking so much damage there from the Freya autos, and the ultimate has come out as well.
Well, whether or not he was trying to hit those autos or just throwing them out all willy-nilly, the thorns were popped, making sure that he had to be careful on when and how many of those shots that he actually pumped down into him. So, while it looked like he may have been missing, and he probably was missing, it was a little bit of a smart play for him.
Yeah, right now, though, he did trade that kill for a tier 2 tower on that duo hand side. Right now, to fight back, Detrimental looking for the Fire Giant. Will they have enough damage is the question. I'm going to say yes.
They've got plenty of damage between Glavis, Xenon Hawk to keep them going and tank that one up. Paul being a Freya with now 3 items online. This is free for Detrimental. No vision for the Care Bears. And all they have is a lone audio cue to realize, oh, we didn't think they'd do that.
Well, they did it, and that's going to be a huge power spike, especially for Glavis, who 9-1-3, 2 levels ahead of his direct opposition, who was the most fed on their team. It's kind of looking bad right now for the Care Bears. How do they have to come back to this?
They need to start getting some kind of team fight going. Black Scar has to save those blinks for big ultimate initiations. Try and pull somebody in with them. The problem is anybody who he would want to pull in does have some form of relic or ultimate to be able to get out of the ults at that point. So really, they just have to find the picks onto the correct targets. Freya, she's already 0-5. There's no reason to keep going on to that one. You need to shut down this Hunter, or you need to really shut down the RTO.
Yeah, the RDO right now coming in huge with that CC. Only 3 members of the opposition have beads, and RDO has so much CC to be able to burn some of those beads. If you really choose to at any given time, you can stun, you can cripple, you can slow him to all hell, you know? She's got so much that she has to offer, and right now she's going to be taking this Portal Demon.
Glavis going on to Oswald while the rest of his team comes through space and time from Quig. Glavis getting a bit low. The ult from Black Scar is going to be immune out by the overhead kick, and Diesel picking up the enemy jungler.
Not only that, they picked up the Portal Demon as well. They're on the other side of the map, sure, but that's going to be another bit of gold in their pockets that they're not going to complain about.
No, and they're looking for this tier 1 tower as well. Shadow Q is going to jump into the midst of them, go up into the Draconic form as well. In the back, Gamma trying to fight out Diesel. The ult is good. The Thorns pop, doing a little bit of damage back, but it's just not enough. Glavis is still alive, and now with the rotation from Paul and Xenon, it's going heavily in favor of Detrimental.
And that ultimate from Diesel put Gamma low enough for Glavis to pick up the kill. Paul really wanted to go for Oswald there, but Oswald too far away. Quig as well, so low, or not really low, but low in mana. So both members there had to back. They have to go up these towers, and right now all 5 members of Detrimental still have Fire Giant. This tower is not going to get saved.
And while Freya isn't the best of goddesses to be able to push down those towers, they do have Diesel on the Jing Wei. Doesn't quite have that Titan's Bane online for the objective shred, but has quite a bit of attack speed built in already. Can't start bursting that down, especially with the Fire Giant buff around their waist. And now Quig and Muffin Man have to play the retreat game because 5 members of Detrimental staring them down in mid lane.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people like to say, oh, well, it's so meta to play double triple guardians, yada yada yada. Well, this isn't really a double triple guardian. I'd say this is more exactly the style of Detrimental. If we look at these players, this is exactly the gods that they like to play. You always see Shadowq on a Fafnir-like god, and you always see Paul playing Freya. These are gods that they love to play, and it's working for them. They play their style.
They're playing to their style and also to the strengths of their gods and how they're able to perform here. Diesel just playing the standard carry that he likes to go for, but hold that through space and time, and the ult from Black Scar is going to bring 4 members in.
Black Scar ever going down to Glavis and going up into the air is the Muffin Man trying to look for a stun to save Gamma, but not going to be good enough. He is able to take down Paul though, but Diesel taking down the Muffin Man instead. Quig popping the Aegis a little bit early, and Oswald with the beads. He is trying to jump in to get some more kills, but Diesel, triple kill. Surrender vote has started, and that's going to be the game, ladies and gentlemen.
It just came down to Care Bears. They got their early picks, but they never did anything with it afterward. You can see 9 kills on Muffin Man. had 7 of those early on, but the gold and the experience lead never really swung in favor of the Care Bears. They were just going for kills and going for kills. And while there was 4 in a row pretty quick in succession from Muffin Man, they didn't go for a Gold Fury. They couldn't get a tower. They couldn't do a buff steal. Nothing. And because of that detrimental, we're able to stay even. And once the team fights came down, they obviously had the much stronger fight in their favor.
Yeah, like we said before, these are tenured players, both teams. But gotta say, right now, Detrimental looked like more of a team than the Care Bears did.
Well, that also comes down to the leadership of the teams. Shadowq is a veteran Smite player, has been around since season 0 of the game, and having somebody with that much knowledge and that much cool collectedness into their comms is able to really help bring this team of misfits together, I'd like to say, and that's what ultimately helped to keep Detrimental in the game. Yes, Paul, you're getting picked a lot, but we're able to get kills onto Glavis as well and keep him even or ahead of Muffin.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be the end of game number 3. We've got Detrimental going into the finals, and we'll be back soon with that finals match.
Never started. You once destroyed a broken heart that was already shattered. Holding on to what we have, you take us to the edge and back. Holding on to what we have, you take us to the edge and back. This love that you never started, you once destroyed a broken heart that was already shattered. Holding on to what we have, you take us to the edge and back. Holding on to what we have, you take us to the edge and back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the finals of this week's 5 vs 5 Battle for Asgard tournament. And right now, we just saw them play, but here they are again. We've got Detrimental on the Order side and Big Brain Gamers on the Chaos side. I'm back with a vengeance this time. Say hello.
What's up, everybody? I'm very interested in this game because Shadow Q, Paul, Xenonhawk, Laves, Diesel, they just brought back a game where they were 2, 3 levels down to their entire counterparts in lanes, which huge, huge coolness in the head for them to do that.
Yeah,
And with how Fates
absolutely.
played that Hercules, I'm very interested to see this solo lane matchup.
Yeah, Fates definitely dominate that matchup, but we've seen Detrimental really being able to come back from that kind of getting dominated in the early game. They are a very tenured team. They play together quite often. I believe they're a CC team, maybe not, maybe I don't remember. I think anyway, they are very strong players, but on both sides, I've got to say.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that we're gonna see a pretty interesting ban here because they are taking quite a bit of their time to decide what to ban. We see a Kabrakan getting banned away from Detrimental, but Ardio, it took you that long to come up with Ardio? Come on, man.
Very interesting to see them take that long to ban Ardio, especially after Kabrakan ban. I'm curious as to why Detrimental would do that. What in their comp is making them ban him away this early?
I'm not entirely sure. Like, Kabrakan is a very strong pick right now. He does have that good level 1 clear, especially in the solo lane, but he's not the best, not the worst. Just something you can pick if you want to be tanky. And we see the band's finished up now with a Kakullen banned away by Detrimental, and Big Brain Gamers taking away that Fafnir. They just saw Shadowcube pop off with that very top tier support pick, so no Shadowcube, no more of that.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy to see that come out, especially knowing that Paul does like Freya. Anytime you have, whether it's Chronos, Soul, or Freya in the mid lane with a Hunter in dual lane, you do not want to see his cores come out and buff his ADCs that much more.
Oh, and absolutely, even when you're talking about, like, okay, oh, it's just a Freya, oh, we can kill her early. Like, if she gets the 15 minutes and they have a Fafnir, her attack speed, regardless of what she's building, is going to be good enough to shred you. No matter how far ahead you are, how far behind she is, she's going to do enough damage. And right now, we're seeing lots of picks being flashed right now, including the Loki. They flashed this before, but is it going to actually happen this time is the question.
Very interesting to see because we saw Paul with the first pick take Nemesis away from Bruh. So this leaves quite a few options to try and take the Nemesis out immediately. Little risky to pick it, but that also shows their confidence after that last game, with Loki and Athena being picked up by Bruh and Fates.
Normally I'm like, Loki, no, screw that guy. We don't need to see that guy anywhere, but this is exciting. I like to see Loki picked in these tournaments because you don't get to see him really anywhere else or in competitive play really at all. I think it's an exciting pick, especially paired up with the Athena. I'm not sure though. Do you think this Athena is going to be in the jungle lane, copying that Cherio kind of guardian jungler-esque type of build, or are they going to go for the Athena in support and hopefully find a wombo combo?
Honestly, at this point, I think you could easily go either, especially with the Nemesis, just for the fact that Athena's global ultimate, anywhere Nemesis goes, she could be instantly. Honestly, I think it's perfect thing just to taunt her out, just whether she pops that shield or she pops that ult, keep her off your team, especially with this Cernos coming up. You do not want her getting in with his ult.
Yeah, absolutely. Although the Hercules, another direct pick against the enemy team. This Hercules was played earlier by iFates, and he just smashed his opposition there in the solo lane, so it is going to get locked in. And we've recently seen a lot of American solo laners, or not, I guess I shouldn't say American, but North American, there we go, solo laners pick up this Hercules, especially Aquarius. Aquarius in the finals of Super Regionals went back to this Aquarius went back to this Hercules so many times, and Xi Chen being hovered for mineral, and it's gonna be selected. This kind of leads me to believe that it is Athena jungle, and it's gonna be Loki in the solo.
It does. However, I would like to see that Jin Tian in the solo lane and Loki jungle, only because I believe Jin Tian can handle Hercules a little bit better, and when it comes to Loki, Hercules will be able to find where Loki is very easily when he goes invisible, especially if he builds Mystical Mail.
Yeah, I do think that is the case too, but it's gonna be a tough decision, I think. I think all of those gods kind of have their different places, and they could be put in who knows where. We could even see a Loki support. I don't know. It could be anything.
It definitely could. There's quite a few flex picks on the side of Big Brain Gamers. As we see, they have banned out Ganesh and Geb, opting for complete takeout of support and possible solo laners with their bans, and Detrimental getting rid of the AMC and Odin. Understandably, the Odin, because they do not want Hercules losing his healing. And honestly, I'm not sure how much they should have picked. They should have decided to ban him at this point, though.
Yeah, I mean, we do see right now it's very, very likely that all three of the support, jungle, and solo lanes are filled up right now in the comp of Big Brain Gamers, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sops went for the Loki ADC. He's done it before, not in maybe competitive games, but in games, he does it. Everyone does it, let's be real.
Yeah, everyone likes to have their fun little troll Loki carry pick. Some people can do it, some people can't.
Yeah, that is true.
Blocking
Right
it
now.
T-ball this time instead of switching over multiple mid laners. I'm liking this with the Loki.
Yeah, I've got to say though, and that Hebo pick is a direct shot at Paul. Paul right now sitting with his Freya and his Hell still, but is he really gonna pick a Freya into a Loki Athena? That's the question I have to ask.
No, honestly, with all these mid laners still up for Paul, are they going to double hunters?
I would imagine.
I'm interested. I would like to see it. However, that would leave them short magical damage. I would like to see him bring out a Scylla or a Toth, which it does not look like he will.
But Bacchus, with that Intoxicate, is gonna do so much damage. Even though he is the only magical damage on that side, they do have a Nemesis, so shredding protections isn't necessarily going to be a problem. Even Kurnonos, if he's in his pen stance, he's going to do quite a bit of damage regardless of how much physical defense you have. And Hachiman, the last god to be hovered by Stops, I'm so excited that Hachiman's getting played. He's so fun.
I definitely would like to see Hachiman played here. Just Sops, as soon as Jinti Null, if he catches multiple gods in that, instantly bursts down. Izanami also could combo her out well with his. Hopefully we'll get to see him pick one of those two, because it would be fun to watch against their comp.
Yeah, right now we are seeing quite a bit of Wombo combo on both sides right now, especially if there's some CC from Shadowq and Glavis. Nemesis could then you could follow up with the belly flop or with the Intoxicate and then throw some more damage, hunter damage at them. You know, that could be such a great combo, but
Yep.
You know, the real Wombo combo, Big Brain Gamers, they've got Taunt, Izanami out, Hebo out, they've got everything they need, and even if you get away, they've got a Loki. You're not running.
Yeah, and the deal with Bach is, yes, thanks to the current build for supports, you are going to have that magical damage. The question is he going to build something a little extra, or is he truly going to build for full support here to do a little less magical damage?
You know, I'm not sure because he is going to be relatively in the front line. They don't exactly have a lot of peel on that team, but Kurnonos and Uller, two of the gods really known for their self-peel as hunters, they've got dashes. They've got, well, I guess in terms of Kurnonos has got a root and he's got an ultimate to shoot people away, but Uller has so much in his kit. He can turn and burn, he can turn, throw an X, and then run. He's got a lot of utility in his kit, known as being one of the most difficult hunters, but he was just buffed. That's why they picked him. So we'll have to see how it goes. All right. Give me your opinion. Who's going to win?
Honestly, I like Big Brain Gamers. Hands down. They have the good balance between magical and physical. Even though they do have the Loki, they have a big CC and Shake Hop. I don't see detrimental with Uller being as high skill as he is. Even though this is Paul, I feel like he's going to get picked out too much, especially with the He-Ball knockout.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be an issue for the mid lane, and really pretty much every other lane. They didn't really draft a whole lot of pressure, but Loki wins games, am I right? We'll see you soon. Let's take a quick break and get into game. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the finals of this week's 5 vs 5 battle for Asgard tournament. Right now, we've got Detrimental on the blue side and Big Brain Gamers on the red side. What's going on? Right now, we see that we've got the support and the mid laner in the middle for both teams, it seems, leaving both the ADCs to do whatever they want. It looks like Sops is going to go hang out by that duo lane, see if he can make sure that the lane is safe before that Diesel comes over there so he can get that lane before everything goes down.
We've got Glavius and Xenon Hawk taking it to Fates because this is Athena solo. Caught him and Bro out. Looks like they're going to outclear very quickly. Bro is in trouble as he is very low.
Bro is really squishy. He is a Loki, so it's going to be a bit difficult, especially when the Loki's gone for Boomba's mask. It's going to be kind of telling that he's going to be trying to kind of do the job of a second jungler, per se. Or he is the jungler, never mind.
Loki.
What am I saying?
In the mid lane, ELPA Dog and Mineral have been completely outpressured by Paul and Shadowq.
Yeah, right now that's just a Hunter. What can you do against a Hunter in the early game? But right now, first blood, Xenon Hawk into Broad.
He is pushing for more as Fates is definitely going to fall here. One more ability out of them. Wow, they decided to let him go.
Unfortunate there. Xenon Hawk missed the auto attack. One more auto would have done it, but they did steal away the blue buff. Paul killing Elpadog in the mid lane. It's not even 2 minutes and they've got 2 kills.
No, I mean, this is really good for Detrimental right now. Taking advantage of the Loki, Athena in the solo lane and jungle. Invading the blue and speed buff. Getting both. Looks like they're going to Fates and Bro, or not Fates and Bro. Xenon and Glavius are rotating over to try and finish Fates here.
Yeah, right now, getting so much damage to the Fates. Fates is stuck out. The knockup is good, and the slice and dice plus an auto attack is going to be just enough. Not even 2 minutes like we just said, but another kill on the board for Detrimental. And last game, we saw Detrimental be in the exact opposite position. We saw Detrimental getting destroyed in the early game by the Muffin Man Thanatos, but right now they're the ones destroying in the early game.
Yeah, this is actually a really great turnaround to see from Detrimental. I'm glad that they decided not to let themselves fall behind. Already finding themselves up 1,000 gold, not even 3 minutes in the game. And they're able to outpressure almost anybody. The only lane I see being anywhere near even right now is between Diesel and Sops.
Yeah, but right now, Sops had just been joined by Bruh, who would come over to try and find a little poke on a Diesel, but I'm not entirely sure what the plan of this Loki composition is. The only reason Sops has any bit of a lead on Diesel is because he is Izanami. His clear is just so superior, and over the solo lane, another kill into Eye Fades.
Not 3 minutes in the game, and we're already finding Xenon Hawk 2-0 and 1. I need to see something come out of Fates here. This is getting a little ridiculous, catching himself that far up, getting caught out by the Herc and Nemesis. As we see near mid lane, everyone is fighting, it looks like. We have Glavius, Xenon, Shadow, taking on Mineral Bro and Elpadog. Unfortunately, Paul was not there.
We've talked before about how these players are trolls, but they like to show their prowess on these troll picks, but this Loki pick, not really doing it for me. Especially with the Athena in the solo lane, you're not going to have any pressure at all.
No, and unfortunately for them, if we take a look at the player damage, we have Glavius up at 2,100 player damage, followed by Paul and Xenon on 18 and 1,400. The next closest is the support, Jintian on Mineral at 700.
Yeah, I mean, right now, it's kind of a shame that your support's the closest one to the next person up, but it's not even half that.
Yeah, and after seeing in the solo lane, Xenon's feeling himself a little too much. Lazy back right in front of Fates. Didn't even bother to challenge it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you've got to take the form where you can, and like we just talked about, being very dominant right now is Detrimental, and even in this dueling, though, we're seeing Sops trying to find something in the enemy jungle to try and get a hold of, and it looks like he was unable to secure the enemy's red buff. But right now, Elpa and Sops gonna group up. Elpa right now kind of sitting at a pretty bad spot. He is not even having his ultimate until just right now, and kind of walking into a bad spot. Shadowq and Paul are right up by his tower, but choosing to still take the aggressive route is Elpa. Playing a little risky for the biscuit, and right now, Shadowq jumping in. He's gonna be okay, but in the solo lane, Xenon, another kill.
Unfortunately for Big Brain Gaming, that is Bro again, 0-2, level 5. just hit it as he died.
Yes, this is so unfortunate for the Loki player there. Right now, Mineral getting ulted by the Athena, and Glavis kind of getting stuck there. Shadow Q also able to get a kill on an Alpha Dog 6-0 right now is detrimental. And still fighting in there is Glavis trying to get the double dash on the Mineral, but even though Mineral had no mana, not able to get the kill.
Yeah, fortunately for detrimental, Xenon Hawk, although he did get low, was easily able to get out because this was Athena and Jintian, both low level in comparison to the two of these.
And over in the duel lane, we saw the solo kill from
Paul.
Diesel on the Sops. My poor dude getting
Paul.
soloed this time.
Paul pulling a very cheeky lazy back on the enemy's speed buff with no health, essentially. Unfortunate for Big Brain Games that no one was there.
Yeah, unfortunate that they hadn't seen, but still fortunate for Detrimental. Not looking like anything is a detriment for them right now. They've got the enemy speed buff, they've got their blue buff, they're doing whatever they want at this point. The Loki has gotten absolutely no pressure for any lane at this point, and another Surrender Road has started. These guys are really not in a good spot, but they're still gonna play it out, it seems.
Yeah, about 2,500 gold almost. 6 minutes in the game. Thankfully, the farm was just brought them down from 3k down, but if they let these kills get any more out of hand and the jungle keeps going away, this may end up being a very soon surrender.
Yeah, I mean, right now, we did talk about how this competition is really meant for the late game, but it looks like there's not going to be much of a late game at all. Your Loki has died twice already. He's 2 levels behind, and you're solo Athena. Well, she is meant to be behind. She's going to be so far behind the 3-0-1 Hercules. It's going to start doing quite a lot if your Athena is not going to be able to get this farm. Athena's one of those gods that's not so great from behind, especially if she taunts. She's just going to get bursted by the autos that are coming her way.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did say I like Big Brain Games comp, but they did not throw Jintian into the solo lane and let Athena support, which, with how this game's going, I honestly believe Athena, had she been in the support, may have been able to bait Paul out and get an early kill on him instead.
Yeah, while I don't believe Mineral does not have Athena in his god pool, I believe that he's more comfortable on the Xing Chen, which is strange because Athena is known to be one of the easiest support gods in the game, but spotting out the rotation is Big Brain Gaming, but Mineral getting stunned out. Nemesis ulted into the Izanami out. Right now we see Bacchus getting thrown under tower. Xenon Hawk, another kill onto Bruh in the solo lane. He's just manhandling them, 1v2ing. He doesn't even care. He's just gonna take his enemy's blue buff, and go.
Yeah, level 9. He's got 1 2/3 items online, and these guys are just gonna keep pushing mid lane after taking Mineral down in the duo lane.
And right now, Sop's in a bit of a bad spot. He is going to take so much damage from that 3 and get taken down. Paul with a double kill onto Sops. This is looking so bad right now for Big Brain Gamers. Unfortunately, their big brain was not enough to throw their draft in the right direction. And right now, 11-0, not even 8 minutes in the game. That's almost, oh my god, that's more than a kill a minute. It's like barely even started. Right now, we're seeing the Hercules steal away the speed buff. 2v3, excuse me. Hercules has to run away now. Paul is there though. Ifade's taking so much damage, and right now we also see Glavis chasing down Bruh under tower. The 12th kill. However, the first kill is on the board. Bruh gets the kill in the afterlife.
Unfortunately for Big Brain games there, it's a little rough seeing that Xenon Hawk was able to survive 3v1 for so long that his whole team was able to rotate.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, that Hercules is huge right now. He can do whatever he wants. 4-0-2. He has the most kills in the game. He's even right now with the highest level in the game. He's got everything in his court. Haha. Oh, he's not playing the baseball skin. If he was playing the baseball skin, it would have been close.
It would have been close, but court's more for basketball.
Yeah, okay. The court, it could be a general term too. It's a court of baseball.
Maybe next time.
Hey, he's
Unfortunately for Fates here, the only way I see him coming back, honestly, is he may need to give up solo lane and just rotate and help his team more in fights, try and get everyone outside of the Hercules down faster, because this Hercules is too big for anyone on their